Welcome to Rathalos Watch. This is the 22nd episode of Should I Expect to Return to Monster Hunter Wilds. Today we'll be talking about one of the most requested monsters you guys have been asking me to do, and today is finally the day. A mammoth from Monster Hunter Generations, Gammoth. As always, we'll delve into the monster in greater detail, covering its first appearance, overall reception, memorable aspects, visual design, combat style, and ultimately whether it should return to Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll explore how Capcom could potentially bring back the monster, what they should or shouldn't change, what new interactions they could implement, and how the monster could fit into the next generation of Monster Hunter in terms of mechanics and design philosophies. If you've been enjoying the series and want more hardcore coverage of Monster Hunter Wilds, then don't forget to subscribe and also feel free to join our Discord and speculate about Monster Hunter Wilds with passionate fellow hunters. Link is in the pinned comment. Without further ado, let's begin. Gammoth is classified as a fanged beast and was first introduced in Monster Hunter Generations, which was a part of the 4th generation of Monster Hunter. The game was released in Japan as Monster Hunter X for the 3DS in November 2015, and then internationally in July 2016. A sequel, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, was released for Nintendo Switch in Japan in August 2017, and a year later, in August 2018, for the rest of the world. Gammoth is Capcom's interpretation of a woolly mammoth within the Monster Hunter universe. They are the largest fanged beasts in the entire series. Gammoths are typically aggressive, especially towards Tigrex, which preys on their young. However, as Gammoths mature, their fear of Tigrex turns into rage and aggression. Gammoth is one of the Fated 4 monsters. The other 3 of the Fated 4 are Glavenus, Astalos, and Mitsusune. All 4 of these are present in Monster Hunter Generations. There is a quest in Monster Hunter Generations called the Fated 4, which is a 6-star village quest that has you hunt all 4 of them one by one, that you can unlock by first taking on quests where you have to hunt each of those monsters individually, and then by killing Shagara Magala in a quest called Stop the Wheel. In the Fated 4 quest, you will be placed in the Forlorn Arena, so no need to be looking for monsters and run around different areas. Just make sure you have all your needed supplies with you, including potions, drink buffs, and so on. It is a cool quest. However, the Fated 4 were never ever seen again all together in a single game. Glavenus was last seen in Monster Hunter World. Meanwhile, Mitsutsume made an appearance in Monster Hunter Rise. Both Astalos and Gammoth made their introductions in Monster Hunter Generations and never reappeared ever again. Capcom went on record too and stated that they wanted to include Gammoth in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, but could not due to her enormous size, and Hoarfrost's reach layout and design was just not large enough to support Gammoth, at least not in the way Capcom had it intended it for her. Fun fact about her is the in-game mammoth the hunters hunt are always female. Males do exist in the lore, but not in the game. Her tail was also designed after a raccoon's tail. Gammoth can be first encountered in a 5-star village quest, the Unwavering Colossus in the Snowy Mountains locale. She can also make an appearance in the Arctic Ridge, Frozen Seaway, Polar Field, Tundra, and Tower 3. Gammoth can reach from the smallest gull crown size of 455.21 centimeters to the largest gull crown size of 2617.48 centimeters. The reason there is a tiny Gammoth is due to a special event quest where you hunt an unusually small Gammoth just for fun. Hunters can break her head twice, her trunk once, and each of her legs individually. A fun fact about Gammoth's name is its combination of Ganesha, the elephant-headed deity, and Mammoth. So why is Gammoth so memorable and special to a lot of the Monster Hunter community? There are quite a few reasons for that, of which I'm about to go over right now. First and foremost, it is the only elephant-inspired monster that exists in the entire universe of Monster Hunter. Second, it is the largest fanged beast out of all the other fanged beasts in the entire franchise as well. She is also part of the Fated 4, which makes her interesting and memorable from a lore perspective. I believe it would be wise to go over Gammoth's visual design first, as that is quite an important aspect of her. She resembles a real-life woolly mammoth and is the largest fanged beast in the series, as I previously said. Her body is mostly covered in bluish fur with patches of white and red on her trunk, legs, back, and underside. She has tough brown plating on her head and feet, along with 2 massive tusks made of the same material. This armor is known to be extremely durable. The underside of her trunk is covered in a scaly hide lined with spikes, and her small eyes are positioned on the sides of her head. It's also common to see Gammoth with snow clumps on her legs. I think Gammoth's visual design is excellent. It's memorable and really sticks in your mind. Being the only elephant-like monster in the series gives her an iconic status that no other fanged beast has. With that in mind, let me know your thoughts on her visual design in the comments below. Now let's dive into her fighting style and combat tactics. Gammoth will try to swipe you with her trunk and then charge forward, grinding her trunk against the ground trying to hit you. Just don't be in front of her, stay at her side or behind her. If you're standing by her feet or face, she will try to stomp you by raising her front legs up and winding up for a massive ground stomp. It has a super long animation and is very easy to dodge. Just get away from her. She may also follow up with another short animation stomp as well. Occasionally she she will also try to do a very wide swipe with her trunk while also breathing out ice from her trunk. She may also stick her trunk into the snow and then start spitting out ice blobs in front of her, as if she was shooting bullets. Do not face her when this happens. If you are behind her, she may kick snow in your face with her back legs, so anticipate it. Make sure you have a thawing agent if you get hit, or you'll be running around like a moron like me in the video. Last but not least, when she's enraged, sometimes she may try to give you the ultimate suck with her trunk, and let me tell you, it's not the kind of suck that you want. However, I won't lie, I much prefer the suck that Gemma likes to give me once in a while in the bedroom after hunting Rathalos. That one feels way better. And yes, Gammoth does have a subspecies known as Elderfrost Gammoth. There are no real different attacks, but Elderfrost does look a tad different. All Elderfrost Gammoth are also female in the game, and their male counterparts have never been seen. Compared to the regular Gammoth, Elderfrost Gammoth has more bluish fur, and the red patches on her back have turned silvery white for reasons that are still unclear. The bony plate on her head is slightly different, with an asymmetrical shape and a large crack in the center. She also has a larger and sharper tusks than the regular Gammoth, making her even more formidable. According to the lore, due to their aggressive and territorial behavior, they can cause blizzards and avalanches in snow regions from their strength by themselves. They are so dangerous that in order to hunt them, you'll need a special permit. It's also worth noting that regular Gammoth coat their legs and trunks with snow, meanwhile the Elderfrost Gammoth coats it with ice instead, and the snowballs that they throw are also much larger than that of a regular Gammoth. Other than that, the majority of the attacks are pretty much the same. Now that we've covered Gammoth's history, visual design, and combat style, we need to ask ourselves if she deserves to return to Monster Hunter Wilds. I believe the answer to this question is a mammoth-sized yes, just like Gammoth herself. Gammoth deserves to return for a wide variety of reasons. First and foremost, she only got the spotlight in Monster Hunter Generations and never ever made an appearance again. Not in World, Iceborne, Rise, or even Sunbreak. Capcom's explanation was that her size was just simply too big, as I mentioned earlier in this video. The reason she is not in Rise or Sunbreak either is simply because Rise's maps are absolutely tiny compared to Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, so there was no point in bringing her back either. At least not in the way Capcom wants her to. You might be asking though, but she is in a snowy mountains, which is also a really tiny map from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite that was included in Monster Hunter Generations. And you'd be correct. But she was designed with the old philosophy in mind, and back then, I don't think Capcom focused much on creating visually spectacular fights that took advantage of the hardware. Remember, most mainline titles were developed for Nintendo platforms, which don't prioritize visual fidelity or complex gameplay mechanics that high-end hardware can provide. The same goes for the PSP, where Monster Hunter Freedom Unite was released. With a new generation of hardware like the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, Capcom now has the chance to bring Gammoth back to her full potential and make her the monster they always envisioned, or even push her to new heights. Monster Hunter Wilds has an incredible sense of scale. I'd argue that Doshiguma is almost as big as the Gammoth from Monster Hunter Generations. Maybe a bit smaller, but you get the idea. Doshiguma is a very large fanged beast. Now imagine what Gammoth would look like with her true size in a landmass that has doubled in physical space. For reference, Capcom did confirm that Monster Hunter Wilds locales are twice the size of those in Monster Hunter World, so it's obvious that the next mainline entry will easily accommodate Gammoth's enormous size. Capcom has never been against bringing Gammoth back, and I think now is the perfect time for her to make a huge impact. Can you imagine her interactions with other monsters? Gammoth has a deep hatred for Tigrex because it hunts her young, and I'm pretty confident Tigrex will be returning. Just imagine the epic turf wars between Gammoth and Tigrex with new visuals, a brand new engine, and dynamic weather effects. It will be incredible. In my last episode, I discussed Volcana returning as an ice-themed monster and suggested that she should be the apex predator of an ice locale. But now that I think about it, Gammoth would be a better fit as the apex predator for an ice region in Monster Hunter Wilds. Elder dragons seem more like invaders rather than monsters that hold territory. Let me know in the comments if that does fit the lore of elder dragons. I can totally see Gammoth reigning over her icy domain, defending against other predators and protecting her young. In the lore, Elderfrost Gammoth are known to cause blizzards and avalanches with their sheer strength. That alone makes her a stronger candidate for an apex predator than Volcana, but both monsters are great, and I'm sure Capcom will find a way to include them. If it were up to me though, Gammoth would be the apex predator with Volcana as the invader in Wilds. Don't forget to check out my Volcana video by clicking on the card in the top right corner. With that being said, I don't really see any reasons why Gammoth would not make it to Monster Hunter Wilds. Obviously, we have yet to get a confirmation of an ice locale, but I'm quite confident that it does exist. I have a hard time imagining Capcom releasing another mainline entry without the ice locale at launch like they did with Monster Hunter World. There is no way that the G-Rank expansion will be ice themed again. That would just be extremely stupid. Do you fellow hunters believe that Gammoth is a good fit and deserves to return to Monster Hunter Wilds? Or would you rather see something completely fresh and new? How do you see her interacting with other monsters? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and tell me which monsters you'd like me to cover in future episodes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe with notifications turned on. Peace out and happy hunting.